Hey dorks, Sparrows here, and today I'm going to assume the role of mad scientist and conceive a mega evolution that toes the line of game breaking. I'm going to give a fresh spin on an overlooked starter by turning Torterra into an immovable object on a little segment I like to call Mega Mania. It's been a long-standing dream of mine to beef up Torterra, and by long-standing dream, I mean a silly idea I've been kicking around for about 6 months now, ever since I took that Super Mystery Dungeon personality test and got dopey little
Turtwig.
Which, sidebar, that wasn't cool enough for me, so I retook the test and wound up with Turtwig again. 6 more times. Those aren't even the same personalities. Thanks, GameFreak. Now, most Mega Torterra designs I see are all over the place. People tack on extra trees and rocks willy-nilly. Well, that's not what I want to do here in Mega Mania. In fact, I want to go in the other direction entirely. Torterra is the continent Pokemon. It's the heaviest final stage starter and is based off the mythos of a turtle carrying the earth on its back. And when it came to designing Mega Torterra, I really wanted the weight of these elements to sink in.
Literally.
This Mega Evolution fattens Torterra up by bringing it from a 677-pound tortoise to a 6-ton behemoth. Torterra becomes so dense that it actually sinks into the ground and becomes one with the earth, and thus, Mega Torterra is born. Now let's delve into the mechanics a little bit. With the exception of Torterra's head and tail, all the soft parts of Mega Torterra are safely submerged underground, meaning enemies will have to break through its hardened shell to secure a knockout. This adds 70 points to defense and 55 points to special defense. Mega Torterra's union with a planet also gives it better leverage for summoning earthquakes and other powerful attacks, raising its attack stat to 120 and special attack stat to 90. To accommodate for this 151 base stat increase, Mega Torterra's speed drops down from base 56 to 5, putting it into the same speed tier as Shuckle. This, in conjunction with Mega Torterra's new ability Rooted, helps solidify Torterra as the immovable object of the Pokemon universe. Mega Torterra's ability Rooted is what truly makes this Mega special. If you're familiar with the move Ingrain, then you might have an idea as to what this does. Ingrain Pokemon gain leftovers recovery at the price of trapping themselves onto the field. Now, traditionally being trapped onto the field is a bad position to be in Pokemon, but not for Mega Torterra. You see, being unable to be switched out has its advantages, particularly in that Mega Torterra is immune to Roar, Dragon Tail, and other phasing moves. So what this does is it allows Mega Torterra to abuse setup moves while hiding behind its impressive bulk. Rooted will also provide Mega Torterra with 5% health recovery per turn. That's slightly less than Leftovers. Leftovers provide 6% health recovery per turn, but the difference in the percentages is because of the inability to have knockoff affect Mega Torterra, and also it keeps it alive to compensate for the fact that it is trapped in the field. Now let's look at Mega Torterra's move pool. Mega Torterra will get access to Ingrain to add further recovery at the price of a move slot, while thematically letting Torterra become even closer with nature. I'm also giving Mega Torterra Heavy Slam by level up so that it can fully utilize its unmatched weight tier. To put that in perspective for you, Mega Torterra will have maximum base power Heavy Slam against every other mon in the current game. Maximum power Heavy Slam is best for eliminating fairies, grass types, and levitating monsters that Torterra has trouble hitting with Earthquake. Mega Torterra will also get access to U-Turn, not for thematic reasons, but because it opens up a lot of potential for Mega Torterra, and when I was designing these Megas, I really wanted to have a lot of room for potential viable sets, and that's something that I aim to do in these Mega Mania videos. When it comes to team function, Mega Torterra might look like a wall, but an inability to reliably switch leaves it primarily as a late-game setup sweeper. Standard sets will likely run Synthesis, a setup move, and 2 attacks, with both a defensive and offensive option. You could also consider going a growth Giga Drain route to replace Synthesis and allow for a mixed sweeper. Mega Torterra has a weakness to status effects, and I think because of that it's going to also lend itself to a Rest Talk set, likely using Rest, Sleep Talk, Curse, and Stone Edge, but you know, fill in the gaps depending on what sort of team you're putting it on. Now let's talk about U-Turn for a moment. U-Turn allows Mega Torterra to bypass Rooted's restrictions on hard switching, giving it the chance to perform as a dangerous sweeper on Trick Room teams. Specifically, when you set up Trick Room on one mon, switch out into Torterra, use Torterra as a fast sweeper under Trick Room, taking advantage of the extra 51 base stat points you'd be getting due to the Mega Evolution, and then using U-Turn on the last turn of Trick Room to rinse and repeat. U-Turn will also allow Mega Torterra to fill a traditional wall roll on a team. You still have to take the hit because of your slow speed, but ideally you can Mega up, survive a hit, U-Turn out, and then to go and do something that is a little more adept for taking on whatever checks or counters they bring out to deal with Mega Torterra. So we're almost done, but there's a few miscellaneous notes I want to make about Mega Torterra before we finish. The first being that even though Mega Torterra is 4 times weak to ice, its defenses are actually high enough that if you invest them correctly, it will be able to survive almost every ice attack in the OU metagame. That said, you do have to be physically defensive to survive a physically defensive hit, or especially defensive to survive an ice beam. But what this allows Mega Torterra to do is, at full health, Mega Torterra can soak up a hit and revenge kill with a wood hammer on, say, a water type using ice beam. And when it comes down to the end of the match, that could spell victory or loss for you, which is really great. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that Mega Torterra is a prime victim of 4 move slots syndrome. There's a lot of moves it wants to use for either coverage or for setup that it just can't use, and because of that, Mega Torterra, while being a starter, actually doesn't lend itself nicely to newer players. But I feel like because of the niche and what it's capable of doing, many skilled players can get a lot of mileage out of it. You could compensate for this by pairing Mega Torterra up with a baton passer, or if you want to go into a sweeping route and get all that coverage, go for a trick room team once again to maximize Mega Torterra's stat changes. So that's it for this week's Mega Mania. Let me know in the comments what tier you think Mega Torterra would land into. I personally think he's probably BLOU material, although I would really like to see him in UU, but who knows what the likelihood of that is. I want to give a special thanks to my pal Mike Regan for turning my crappy sketch into a working design. We worked together on a few more videos like this, so if you like gimmicky megas, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. With that said, I'm going to leave you all with a little sneak peek for the next episode. Enjoy.